Hey everybody on YouTube, just wrapping it up here before it gets dark. Sun's going down behind the Sierras here. Finish on a light topic, I guess, tonight. Let's talk a little bit about football and the upcoming college football season. The polls came out this week. One of my favorite recreational activities, I guess, watch a little football on the weekends and go to the games when we can, catch a few, and something to do. It's enjoyable, and not too terribly expensive. But yeah, so the rankings came out. They ranked LSU number 1. Not surprising, I don't guess. I got questions about who exactly they're going to be putting back there at quarterback, but that's where they got them. Their defense is probably strong enough to keep them having to worry about scoring too many points. But on down the line, there's USC, which has got big hopes coming off probation, I guess, and everything. And obviously, all the turmoil at Penn State's pretty much knocked them out of any contention of anything. Looking like Michigan and Ohio State are the big top dogs are looking at over there to do really well. In the Big Ten, it's actually the Big 12, which... yeah, you talk about in the actual Big 12, you got West Virginia moving in, and then I guess they're saying Texas is supposed to bounce back this year and have a pretty good year. We shall see. I think Oklahoma is going to be the presumptive hold on to their top position there. And then you got over the ACC. I don't remember seeing too much. I guess Clemson's supposed to be one of the top teams, and Virginia Tech with Miami supposed to have a better year than down years they've had in the past. So they're looking for Miami to bounce back and have a more substantial output this year. We shall see. In the Big East, I don't think was there even a team ranked in the top 25 from the Big East. Who's left in the Big East? I guess it's a better question. I guess Pittsburgh, Syracuse are still there, and then Connecticut. Rutgers is supposed to have a decent year, I guess. I don't even know if any of them are ranked in the top 25, which I guess it wouldn't be that surprising. The Big East is pretty much falling apart, which leads us to Boise State in the Mountain West. Boise State's predicted to win that. They're not surprising. But they're supposed to move to the Big East next year, which that move still baffles me because, yeah, if it's for TV money, maybe, but Big East is going to lose their automatic berth, which is one of the big reasons they moved as well. And if the conference falls apart, what are they going to do? Move back to the Mountain West? And there's still problems with Boise State with their other sports programs. And so they're throwing pretty much all their Olympic sports and basketball and baseball and everything else under the bus on that one. So kind of putting, I don't know what's a good word for just destroying your other programs for the sake of football, I guess. Kind of interesting thought process there when they looking at the Mountain West, getting a little bit better conference, building up a little bit, even with the loss of TCU. But that's what they're going to do, it sounds like. And even more bizarre, San Diego State's moving to the Big East next year. I think San Diego State's picked to finish 4th in the Mountain West, which I hear, of course, is what the big Mountain West Final War focused on. But yeah, them and I guess Fresno State was picked to finish 3rd, and maybe Air Force 4th. There's a little competition there between 3rd and 6th. There's a few teams battling pretty hard for that bowl spot that will be open there. Between you got Air Force, Wyoming, who's had some starting on the upswing, a couple of good years coming up, and Fresno State. Fresno State's got a new coach, so they might not be quite as good as everybody expected. And there's always growing pains out of that. And then Hawaii is in that little mix there too. But they have a new coach as well, new system, new coach. So who knows how that'll work out for them. Nevada was picked to finish 2nd. And we'll see if they can live up to that. Last year they kind of fell apart at the end of the season, and they should have won the WAC. But just didn't play well overall, especially on late fourth quarter defense there towards the end of the season. They missed their championship there. But so a lot of teams there competing for kind of those middle spots in the Mountain West. And then you got the Pac-12, obviously. Oregon and USC they're kind of battling for the top spot. It sounds like everybody's kind of leaning towards USC to come back after their probation and really put the hurt on some people, kind of like they did last year to USC. USC just put it to Oregon last year when they went up there. So we'll see what happens this year when Oregon comes down to visit Southern Cal. And sounds like everyone else is playing second fiddle in that conference. With obviously Washington State's got a new coach, Mike Leach, who done great things everywhere he's been, and he's picking up a program there that's really not been much since Ryan Leaf left, which was a lifetime ago for most of us. But see if that system he puts in and this run and shoot or whatever he calls it, run and shoot he calls it. I guess well he is in a spread, I guess, in a roundabout way, but we'll see what happens up there in Pullman with that system, especially in the weather. And I've heard people, I've heard Coach Leach, talk about it. The weather doesn't affect it. And I'm like, it does. Yeah, I don't think that's true at all. You try to throw that ball up there in Pullman in some of those rain showers in Oregon State and stuff, and you're going to definitely have an effect on the game compared to when you play the game down in Texas. And the weather was relatively nice. Maybe you had a couple of chilly nights. That rain up there that can hit on some of those games might have to change their game plan sometimes. They play Oregon State, Washington, rain. They get rain on several of their games, considering heavy rain, not just light mist or nothing either. So Pac-12 looking like that. Washington's looking good. With Stanford obviously rebounding, kind of rebuilding a little bit, losing a couple good players. This would be solid, right there in that fourth position or so. And the rest of the UCLA doesn't look like they're going to be much. Lost their coach and everything. And then Arizona and Arizona State. I can't remember which one last year was. Arizona was surprising when Arizona State kind of didn't deliver as expected. We'll see what comes out of there. But then you got the WAC, which is completely falling apart. With Nevada and Fresno State, Hawaii moving over to the Mountain West. They picked up a couple teams, I think Texas State, and I can't remember who the other one was. They picked up to kind of hold them over, but it sounds like next year they might lose Utah State or San Jose State. And so that conference is pretty much going away to Big East as well, it sounds like, eventually. Maybe not a football conference, but maybe be a conference in other athletic sports. But they're not being much of a threat compared to what they were in the last decade. With Boise State and Fresno State, beating big teams or playing really big teams really well at the mid-level conference, or what's considered a mid-level conference. I don't like that term, but for everybody's reference, I guess I'll use that. And you got I'm not really spun up on the Sun Belt and the Conference USA. I think Conference USA, East Carolina should have a fairly good team. Houston, they lost Case Keenum. I don't know where they stand. I think Tulsa's supposed to be on the upswing, but I really haven't got much more than that. I don't know where Marshall stands or some of those other teams. I'm not sure. Same with the MAC, Mid-American out there. Toledo had a pretty decent team last year. They scored a lot of points. There was watched a couple of MAC games last year. It was like basketball games. Northern Illinois and Toledo, I think, they went to bowl games. I'm not sure how all that worked out or where they're standing this year. And what other conferences you got out there? I think that's about it. Sun Belt, Arkansas State, or those teams, I don't know. Really couldn't pick up much on where they stand. I think there's like 4 new teams moved up from known as the 1AA, what it used to be called. Now it's called the Championship Subdivision. The BCS is what we're in, and the other teams in the AA. But anyway, there's 4 teams that moved up. Texas State was one of those, and there's a couple others. I know Appalachian State is looking at moving up. You know, they're one of the top dogs as far as the 1AA is considered. They're looking at moving in a couple of years up to the BCS. And then you got teams like Idaho that may potentially end up having to go down. A lot of moving around and stuff going on, which kind of takes away from a lot of the interest, because you don't like to see teams, you like to see traditions build instead of get torn down like that. But we'll see what happens. A lot of it's money involved and stuff, unfortunately. And yeah, so that's the outlook this year. We'll get some. I'll probably be posting some videos from the games we go to, just to kind of mix it up on here and show you how we enjoy our Saturdays, Sundays. We got the double headers with the kids playing football and then going to the game after and stuff. So football Saturdays in effect throughout the fall. But heading up the mountain here. Pretty, like I said, there were some thunderstorms here this afternoon, a little bit. Nice day. Hope everybody out there on YouTube is doing good. Y'all have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.